So Fanatec could be bankrupt, and I don't use those words lightly, but there has just been in the last 24 hours an extraordinary situation with Fanatec where they're basically asking for money now, and the share price has gone down in one day. In one day, the share price has gone down more than 50%. So something extraordinary has happened. In this video, I'm going to let you know why, and I'm just going to present the facts to you impartially as I can. And I feel it's important to do that because there's lots of people on YouTube who promote and sell Fanatec products to you and make money when you buy them, and that's great, nothing wrong with that. But there's no one, as I'm aware of, on the other side of that equation saying, hang on, here's what's going on with the company, just to be aware. And I come at this really primarily as a Fanatec customer, someone who has bought Fanatec equipment over the years, who bought Fanatec equipment a couple of weeks ago, and I want to know whether I should continue doing that in the future. I'm also, I guess, a journalist. I flew over a couple of months ago, and interviewed the CEO of Fanatec, who's now been ousted. And we're going to get onto that. So what does this mean? And should you buy Fanatec equipment right now? Like literally as you're watching this video, should you, if you got the button on the order, should you do it? Let's get into it. So why has the stock price gone down 50%? What does this really mean? So Fanatec issued this market statement, and I'm going to contrast this with the marketing statements they do. But this is on the investor side. And the reason I use the words could be bankrupt is because Fanatec themselves have said they are looking at injections of equity capital through capital increases, as well as investor entry using instruments in according with the Act on the Stabilisation and Restructuring Framework for Companies, aka STARUG. It's a German piece of legislation. If you look at it, it's all about crisis management. It's just factually crisis management, similar to Chapter 11, bankruptcy in the USA. I think similar to potentially administration in the UK. So when I say Fanatec could be bankrupt, they're looking at bankruptcy style measures now. And in doing these videos, because again, I seem to be the only person who's put my head above the parapet here to sort of give this kind of insight, I have seen some people saying the lower the stock price and goes in Fanatec, the better, because someone else will buy it. There's no way the banks will let it go bankrupt. They want their money. Like, these things just don't reflect business reality. Like, I don't know who's making these comments, but you know, I've also had investment bankers come into contact me and loads of other people in business, and they, you know, it's a really difficult situation now. So Fanatec made that statement to the investors. You may have seen that Fanatec has been making quite a few statements to players recently. They're branded differently. When they make a statement to investors, it's branded in a investor way that they need to, because that's part of the requirements and regulations of being a listed company and taking public money. But when they go to people, you know, you and me customers, it's all branded really nicely. So Andreas Ruff has come into the picture. So he is the new CRO, even though that he introduced himself in the marketing thing as a CEO. So really, the banks and the investors, so just a very quick history on what's going on here. Basically, Fanatec are running out of money. They're in the hole. They're not making as much money as they're spending. They've taken massive losses last year. And because of that, the investors, they were not able to pay back their loans, it seems, from what we can infer from the investor statements. And the investors, who will be banks, etc., have said, you need to make some changes. Otherwise, we're going to call in the loans. So in exchange for extending the loans, the bank said, look, we want you to get rid of Thomas Jackermeier, who was a CEO that I interviewed on this channel. He's a founder of Fanatec, been there for 25 years. So they got rid of Thomas Jackermeier and they got in a new guy called Andreas Ruff, basically as a CRO, a Chief Restructuring Officer. Restructuring means you're going to get rid of people, unfortunately. You're going to get rid of things that are not profitable, and you're going to restructure the business in a way that's going to make it more profitable and nearly always a lot smaller. Anyway, when Fanatec introduce him to us as customers, they call him the CEO, but to investors, they call him the CRO, which is quite interesting. And he said this: hello, Fanatec fans. I'm thrilled to join Fanatec and work with this passionate team, and definitely a very passionate team at Fanatec. Right now, my priority is to tackle delivery issues arising from overwhelming demand. If you listen to my interview with Thomas Jackermeier, it wasn't actually overwhelming demand, he said. It was actually a break in between the orders that were coming in and the fulfillment in the factory, basically, or where they store all the products. But now that's changed to overwhelming demand. Again, it looks optically better if you say, oh, we're struggling because we've got so much demand. Not actually sure that was really the case. But anyway, rest assured, we are diligently working to return to optimal operations. Once resolved, we'll refocus our energy on crafting remarkable sim racing hardware. So that statement came out and it sounded like they were going to focus on customer service, basically. Anyway, skip forward to today and they have released an announcement on a new product. So it's back to classic Fanatec, which is just, let's just release like loads of products. And that perhaps is more of a priority than the customer service. They released the Fanatec CSL cockpit. I'm not convinced that has been a great success, even though it looks to be very intricately engineered, and Fanatec has been at the forefront of engineering incredible products. So we've got these differences in statements. So what has the markets done? The markets have just sold. They have sold. It is unbelievable what has happened in the markets. The stock price, down 50% just today and down 90% in 1 year. So what does it mean for you or me buying Fanatec products? Am I personally going to buy more Fanatec products? I'm going to repeat a little bit, but tweak a little bit what I said previously a couple of weeks ago, which is that if you are about to purchase a Fanatec order, do your research. Watch my interview with the old CEO. Watch these videos. Look at the stock price and do your research and make an informed decision. If you want to buy it, go ahead and buy it, knowing that there's a increased risk that the company might not be solvent. That seems to be reasonable. If you have lots of money and you really want the best, the most powerful direct drive system on PlayStation, then you have to get the Fanatec DD Extreme. So that's it. And if money's no problem, then that's great. If you're someone, and this is more like me, when I bought my first Fanatec CSL Elite back in the day, I was saving, I was scrabbling together, I was having beans on toast and looking forward to getting my at that stage it was like a really impressive wheelbase and my Fanatec McLaren rim. Then I would again make an informed decision. I'm not paid to make these videos by Fanatec, or no other company has paid me to make these videos. No other reputable company would do that. I do have other products that have been given to me for free, like Moser. I do have a discount code on Logitech. I think my name, Kireth, gets you money off the Logitech Direct Drive DD Pro, but I've never said that in any of these videos because I don't really think it's appropriate. Just to put it all out there, this is me coming at this from a customer, and I do want Fanatec to come out of this stronger, but I don't agree that this is a good thing for Fanatec. The other thing is about the equity position is that Fanatec's market cap is now 55 million euros. And bear in mind that Thomas Jackermeier, the ousted CEO, owns 50% of the shares. So Fanatec equity now represents only about 27 million euros. I mean, it's tiny. The revenue Fanatec generates is about 100 million euros. They were about 15 million off their projections last year, if I remember from doing my research when I went over the interview. So the equity available is 25 million, 27 million. The revenue is over 100 million. They're making a loss, about a $10, $15 million loss, I think it was projected to be. So the financials of Fanatec are all in a completely weird situation. What do they have? Fanatec have amazingly passionate staff. I've been over there. I know firsthand. They are very passionate and talented staff at Fanatec. These are not, they're not copying anyone. They are making innovative products over in Germany. It's a European engineered business. You've got passionate people there. You've got intellectual property in terms of the wheel designs, how the direct drives work, some of the software as well, full force. So you have some IP there. You have some licenses as well. They released a statement today confirming they have a license with Formula One. Again, that was directed at you and me, but really they were doing it to show the investors, hey, we have a license, and it looked to have completely failed because all the investors sold. But they have licenses with, you name it, Porsche, BMW, Bentley, PlayStation, Formula One, WRC. I don't know if I said it. They got loads of licenses. So there is stuff there that's worth money, but I don't think the licenses would be worth too much money because, you know, the cost of taking over a license versus getting a new license. The IP seems to be less and less important as you have companies like Moser who seem to compete very closely with what Fanatec offer, and also loads of other companies in the RIM space. And then the people are very valuable, but unfortunately in these sort of situations it tends to be the people like you or me that end up at the bottom of the pile. So Fanatec stock down 50%. The market cap of the business is half of what they make every year, which shows there's something fundamentally wrong. Investors are not interested. Fanatec are going out basically asking for money, and they're going into this crisis or restructuring law, which, you know, will enable them to do certain things, might enable them to get out of certain contracts. I don't know. And obviously, none of this video is investment advice. I don't own any shares in Fanatec. I don't even know how to buy them, but you know, it's an interesting concept for me personally. It's like, if I think Fanatec's going to survive, or do I think? But anyway, I don't own any shares. It's just an absolute madness. I want to know from you in the comments what you think now, and I especially want to know if you're someone that's changed your opinion in terms of how this has gone. Because obviously, when I went over and spoke to Thomas Jackermeier, that, you know, I was the first person to really break that, I think, and put out in the open that, hey, you know, Fanatec's had some rough times. Because if you go back, it wasn't really something talked about that Fanatec wasn't doing great customer service. So I had lots of people emailing me and in my comments saying, hey, I haven't got my order from Black Friday. I was thinking, that's weird. That can't be a massive thing, surely, for a big company like Fanatec. But then as I investigated, I was like, it was. Flew over there, interviewed the CEO. Yes, it is a big issue. They're working on it. They're going to onboard customer service teams. They're going to change the process. They're going to have delivered everything. By the way, I'm getting a lot of comments these days saying that the DD Extreme is breaking for a lot of people. It's like, when I've read that, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that as well. So let me know in the comments. But, you know, we've gone from that situation to now it's an open secret. It's an open secret that Fanatec is in trouble. But again, no one on YouTube wants to talk about it, and no one has to. It's a weird thing to talk about. This isn't pure sim racing. It's not me on the rig driving. It requires some financial knowledge and some knowledge of business and the way business works, which I always like looking into. But I wonder if we're going to get to the point. I just don't know where we're going to get to. I genuinely don't know. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. Am I going to order anything more from Fanatec right now? On the one hand, it's a two-way thing, to be honest. On the one hand, if Fanatec is going to continue on this slope, then I kind of want to get some products that might not be available in the future. As weird as that sounds. But in terms of software support and warranty support, you know, it's not looking good for that. Don't kid yourself that some company is going to come in and somehow do a lot of warranty repairs for you for free, and that's going to be a great deal for them. Nuh-uh. Ain't going to work like that. So I'm probably not really going to buy any more Fanatec equipment right now. But that's me personally. That's my personal circumstances. I don't need to buy a DD now. I've got a couple of DDs, so I'm all good on that front. But let me know what you think in the comments. I just wanted to slow it down a little bit in this video. I want to take some of the sting out of it. I want to give all the context. Let me know if I've missed anything. Let's have a adult conversation here. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm going to put the other videos around here that you should definitely watch if you're looking to buy Fanatec products, just so you become informed and make an informed decision. I will see you next time.